Jane, his wife.
I knew you
Wait, what's her name? Meet Tooru Jetson. What's Toru's last name? I don't remember her fucking name. We just went on a nostalgia bender and watched the Jetsons intro and outro like 5 times.
It's literally once.
Feels like it's been a million times.
You just keep quoting it like 20 times. Welcome everybody to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we are watching Fruits Basket episode 10. What happened last time?
I don't remember.
Wow, you don't even care about this show. You hate this show.
I like how you reuse jokes that I made towards you from like 2 years ago. You aren't even original enough to use like a recent joke. You still hold that against me from the times that you would do the intro 2 years ago and still you have no idea what's going on.
We don't need to know what happened last time. We'll just wait and find out what happens
Let's
this
actually
time.
check. Hang on. Oh yeah, it was.
It was when the whole
guy.
the backstory of this and how he turned into a cow and then carried him home, and it was very in line with the zodiac.
Soma is his name. Soma. Kyou fights Yuki. Yeah. And fucking Yuki was all sick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always sick. But they got sick at the end. But I feel like that's a red herring. I feel like Yuki is dying. That's what happened last time.
Better not.
Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get a month ahead on this show and many others. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
What?
This is... Oh. Sounded English. His voice sounded very English. Jane, his wife. You have like a nightmare? What was that?
No, he just wants milk straight out of the jug.
どうしたんでしょう。あれ、一個だけね。王子様の下駄箱なら見ると思ったのに。漫画でよくあるじゃん。チョコが良さでさ落ちてくるやつ。Oh yeah。わかったわ。これはタキナと同じ行為があった結果なのよ。格好のヒナがモツの卵を少女たちは自分のチョコを目立たせる先に置いてあったチョコ。証拠があのゴミ箱。
Oh my god! That's crazy. Probably like poison or something.
Just piles of chocolates for him.
Why is he so salty? It's Valentine's Day related trauma. Oh,
Kagura.
she's gonna show up and just destroy him. You're gonna call me names? Will I call you a name? Why does she have that?
She will use it on herself.
Can you see her in the distance? Oh no. She's just at the house.
We still don't know what's up with his bracelet.
Yeah. Would it kill you to, like, listen to anyone's boundaries? I love how they all have different mugs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's gonna be a disaster.
全然
あのね、言ってたよ。キョウ君とユンちゃん仲良くなったって。もっとよく知り合えばもっと仲良くなれるかもって。私も嬉しいな。バイバイ。
ハー君もいいこと言うじゃないですか。情報し合うことを覚えるべきだよね。いや、言いたいんだ。てめえを仲良し扱いしてんじゃねえだろうな。
I'm pretty sure he started that bandwagon.
俺はユキが嫌いなんだよ。嫌いなままでいいんだよ。なぜ嫌うことが義務のような言い方をするのかな。まるで知ること自体に怯えているような目で。
What the hell happened?
何事？ちょっとばかし歯がゆかったのでつっつきすぎたかな。
キョウ君、どこですか？に怯えたような目をしていました。キョウ君、何かを必死に守っているよ。何を？自分を？
忘すこと忘れろ。お前にかほっとけ。
仲が悪くてもいいです。本当は仲良くなってほしいと思っていました。けどいいです。嫌いだっていいですよ。ちゃんと見えてます。背中にある立派な星。素敵です。
うん。痛くない。何も考えたくまだ。
本当はずっと繊細で、それはユキ君も同じで。
Such a dramatic picture of him.
なんでもね。とっとと帰るぞ。
抱え込んでいる苦しみ、痛みや不安、それら全部拭い去れたらいいです。そうしてくださったように、お二人にも幸せになってほしいから。
大好きな人の夢を見た。そしたらもうどうしようもなくなってしまった。くださいねと言われてもね。シグ、俺たちそろそろ出かけるから。ああ、行ったさい行ったさい。フルデートなんて。あ、ユキかユキか。割り勘なんてせこい目をするんじゃないよ。分かってるよ。あんたちへのバレンタインチョコレート、本当に届けてですか？大丈夫、食べちゃったりしないよ。いえ、そうではなく、お仕事が大変。任せておきなよ。お、わざわざ近寄ることない。本当はもう一度言ってるんだけどね。
Plus, you've never been there, so you wouldn't know where to go anyway. Just don't worry about it.
She awakened something in him. A memory. He's gonna finish his manuscript super quick.
いってらっしゃい。面白いこと言うな。バレちゃう。期待に応えたくなっちゃうでしょ。楽しみでよく眠れなかったよ。本田さん、どうかした？
Toru, Honda? It's just erupting into an absolute battlefield.
羽鳥とかごく少数だよ。昔誰だったかさざ波のようだって。寄せては引いていくさざ波。足元を撫でていくのに触れようとすると遠ざか捕まえることができない音で。例えが綺麗すぎるよね。だから見ればその波を漂うクラゲ。顔は笑ってても腹の中では何を企んでいるんだか。はい、母さん、僕からのバレンタインチョコ。
From you?
嘘です。バカが。
They're not enjoying this movie. Ew, that thing's gross looking. Oh!
影響されるかもしれんな。他人を丸くさせるところがある。
昨日もさ、僕つついちゃってさ、京くんとても乱れちゃって。
出すなよ。
でも、トールくんと一緒にはもうケロッとしてたよ。
思惑通りにことが進んだ。
何かな、その噛みついた言い方は。
利用していないだ、大嘘つきが。お前も秋とも君を駒として利用しているよ。それの目的と利得のために。
How's Akito using her?
Because he's trying to get Yuki and Kyou to be friends.
あやも泣いた。あの朝。君たちにはそれが辛いものになってしまったけれど、僕は僕の胸にはまだ残っている愛しさ。痺れるように甘く悲しいあの熱情。
僕はそれを永遠のものにしたいね。から形で手に入れたい。必ず。
キャイもまだこの胸にある。手に入れるためなら偽りも利用も問わない。たとえそれが誰かを傷つける結果になっても。
He's more like Gojo than I thought. He's like exactly like Gojo.
特に
I wonder if he got cast as Gojo because of this role.
本当にいい子だから。でも僕には少し綺麗すぎるかな。思い知らされたりもする。が一番汚いんじゃないかって。いや、マジ汚いんだけどね。僕は君さえも羨ましく思うんだ。一番呪われているのかもしれないんだ。
先生、秋人さんの検診のお時間です。
はい、先生。僕がその代役させていただきます。言うと思う。
Sensei means both author and doctor. So they're like, Sensei, it's time for Akito's checkup. All right, I'll go do it.
どんな結果が待っていても歯の一本は覚悟しておけよ。ユキか京か本田君か誰かは知ら一人には殴られるだろうよ。
What the hell is going on
I don't
here?
know.
俺は
This is one of those conversations that'll make sense in season 3.
だが敵にも回らない。
It seems like he's trying to foster the new banquet.
俺も同じだ。
歯でも骨でも持っていけばいい。
A lot of subtext this episode. Like a lot of subtext.
アキトさん。
Oh, he's actually going to check on him. Thought that was a joke.
来てたんだ。
来てましたよ。アキトさんに会うためにね。
まあ、それは当然じゃないの。
そうですね。アキトさんが一番大切ですから。手に入れてみせるさ。どんな偽りも利用も日の夢を永遠にする。
That's mysterious. Is he lying to Akito? It seems like that, but it seemed the way he talked about it, it seems like he was lying, saying that he was lying to them or something, or to
Yeah.
Toru. It's ambiguous. Just kills him. He falls down all those crazy steps. I always wonder that. Old people go up those steps all the time to go to like the shrines and shit. I wonder how many of them just die from falling down those stone steps.
もういいのです。
Girl, like kept calling.
editor.
Yeah.
もうここで命を。
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
死ぬのはよしじゃないかな。
Is she related to them too? I wonder.
I don't know.
They seem to have every kind of profession you could ever want. They have an author and an editor in the family, possibly.
で僕の分は
今焼いてるところなのです
You don't get any.
嬉しいです先生手を動かすマジックフィンガーどこへ行こうと追いかけますからね
それは怖いね捕まえられるもんなら捕まえてごらん
This episode was so weird.
I agree.
This episode-
I don't know what I think about this
Well,
episode.
this is clearly, like, it's exactly what I said. Next season, or after this season finale, or in season 3 when all the shit comes together, this episode is gonna be one of those that's like, oh my fucking god, I cannot believe they said all this shit. Or like, you know, that's, but... What,
They
I think
reveal
what
so much, but there's zero context for any of it.
Well, what I don't, yeah, because like the thing I don't like about that is that it's way too obvious about it. That's something that after watching Jujutsu a lot more, and that's one example, but there are a lot of other shows that do this sort of thing. It's very layered, and it's very staggered. This whole episode was all that feeling of like, you know, clearly for the rewatch or clearly for, you know, oh my god, this totally changes everything about the show. But like the fact that we're watching it the first time and we see like, I don't understand this at all. Like the idea is to like keep the audience engaged and like show them, but they don't know that they were shown.
Yeah, it's
It's fine, I guess. Doesn't
I don't
matter.
know, and I would say like maybe we just missed something, but I think you're kind of right.
Can we go back to the sorry, finish what you're saying.
No, it's just but yeah, I think if it is just like hinting at other things that like we don't know yet, like it's just a mystery. It was so much mysteriousness instead of just like a couple like offhanded comments, and then you're like, oh, I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah.
But I'll keep thinking about it later.
I thought I
you know?
blinked and missed it with Kyou, but no, his was the same thing where there were multiple stories stacked onto each other that didn't really tell you or spill the beans on what was going on, but are clearly like it's not just foreshadowing's good because foreshadowing like sort of you know you're shown something without realizing that you're being shown something, and then it comes into play later when you get the answers. Mm-hmm. But this is clearly like, you know, the whole episode was such blatant foreshadowing, but it's there's nothing we can do with that, and there's not anything else to really attach to. So then the whole episode is like trying to figure things out and being unable to, rather than, you know, enjoying the ride as it goes, and then little things sprinkled in and kind of wondering what it's about. There's multiple full-on conversations based on context that we don't have. And yeah, it's just, what I'm trying to say is like, I guess it's not a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a uncommon way to write something, I guess. It's just annoying, because it's like, it's just so blatantly like, oh, we're being really mysterious. This is a mysterious plot line.
It's something that ReZero would do a lot.
It's a very ReZero
where they had like an entire scene of just like, we're telling you so many things that you won't understand at all, and you can speculate all you want, but you'll never know. And then
the only way
just
to know
at the point that you don't care about it anymore, then I will reveal it all to you.
And you know, it's also because this is a manga. It's also might be one of those things that like around this time maybe the author realized kind of where they want to take the story, or around, either around this or before this, realized like, okay, this is kind of more, they maybe thought about it more long term, and were like, I need to make sure that this stays like a long term manga and doesn't get canceled after a few volumes. So let's seed this in now, and then people will be in like, this is meant to be like, now you're hooked on the characters, you know enough about the world and the characters. How do we make sure that that everybody keeps reading in order for their stories to come to fruition? Well, let's, you know, make a lot of mysterious conversations and gestures towards different characters, and allude to lost love and different backstories and all these different interconnecting threads. in a way that is unable to be solved unless you keep reading, in which case it's less likely to be canceled as a manga. I not to say I'm not interested. That's the other thing, is like I really don't like this approach to it, but like I actually am interested in Shigure and in all of this shit and all this stuff, and I'm much more interested in him than I was before. So it's not like it doesn't have its effectiveness.
And I will say, it's not coming out of nowhere. Like, they have kind of hinted at it before, of like when he's talking to Akito, and like he's like, oh, I've got my own plans or whatever, and it is being kind of mysterious about it. I'm just not quite sure what he wants.
Well, he said, because there's also nothing thematic to like go after for this. Like that's the other thing, is like a lot of the times we made a lot of predictions that I feel like are really accurate, or they're probably accurate.
Based in something.
They're based in something, but they're not just based on like long like convoluted conversations between characters. They're based on like the visual storytelling, how like the whole zodiac system works, and like what the series means on a thematic level, and how all of these things interconnect to the conversations. And that's where predictions get interesting. But when you have like a bunch of conversations and a bunch of scenes meant to set up a farther sort of plot line with no way to, like, there's none of that thematic anything. This episode, they didn't like show anything that's like a way to like kind of connect that. So the only way that you can predict things is by literally breaking down like what people are saying and like what the vague things that you know about their character, which leaves us in a place of needing to, again, like that's the purpose. It's the whole point is to get you to, oh, what does he mean by this? So Shigure is basically saying he's like a liar, he's a plotter, he's a schemer, and he wants to create something eternal. He wants to create something that lasts forever and that is beautiful, which I guess one like thematic thing that goes along with that is the fact that he's a writer, because that's kind of what you do, or what the aim is, if for a lot of writers, is to create something that like is a legacy, or that, you know, something a story that is beautiful or whatever, that can live past your life and live on for a long time. So it makes sense that he would want to do that with his profession. But I don't know, do you think he's lying to Akito? Or do you think that he's actually working with Akito and, like, you know, there's no way to know, I guess. Like, what do you think?
Well, I don't know, because he says, he's, like, basically just like, oh, I feel bad that I'm, like, using Tooru because she's just way too nice. And, one out of the three of them will probably punch me in the end, whatever that means. And then
well, the punching, that's not literal. He's saying, like, you'll need to be prepared to lose a few teeth, meaning you're going to get hurt in the end. You need to be prepared to get hurt in order to do what you're doing, not literally get punched in the face.
No, it's just like, but they will like lash out at him in whatever way they want to, which means that like he knows that he deserves some kind of reaction out of them. He goes to visit Akito, and we've seen him visit Akito multiple other times as well. Like, he's been hanging out with him. And then he says, I care about you most after all. And I don't know if this is like something to do with Akito's sickness and how Akito is trying to like push people away that he feels like are whatever the deal with his sickness is, how he like slice that guy's eye out and forbid him from marrying that girl, and like went to all those lengths and doesn't want Tooru hanging around and stuff, but also is kind of okay with it. I guess I'm just saying, like, if Akito, or if Shigure is thinking that having the thing where Yuki and Kyou become friends again will help Akito in some way. The whole thing of, like, if the cat and the mouse become friends again, then it will like set things right, essentially. If Akito is the thing that he cares most about, and he's trying to use these other three people to help Akito, like if that's like his goal or whatever, you know, and he's like trying to get them to hang out because she's allowed to stay because she's a good influence on them and helping them to be friends, which can like restore balance and potentially help Akito in some way.
Right. I guess. But like, what is that? How so you assume that them...
I guess I'm just...
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that I can think of, but, like, what he could be possibly doing behind the scenes, I really don't know, because, what could it possibly be, you know what I mean?
Okay. I think that has to do with what you said the other time with the New Year's banquet, how, like, they went over and they just, like, had dinner and this doesn't have all... and how we talked about how... everything's kind of gotten stagnant and like is kind of rotting on the vine, where there's so much pageantry and there's a whole city built around it and there's all this stuffiness around something that is just supposed to be wholesome and good, and you're supposed to have dinner with your family and all the people that you love, and that's what the banquet is supposed to be. It's like a coming together and a feeling of togetherness, but then all of this stuff is like getting in the way of that, and that is sort of representative or linked thematically with Akito's sickness, is that like Akito, if he is like the godly figure in the middle and like the head of the household, as they said, then him being sick is like the king is sick and dying, therefore the kingdom is sick and dying.
Yeah.
And it's because of all of this, like the kingdom has lost its way. That's what the sickness is. So that's kind of what's going on there. So Shigure hosting basically this new banquet, and that will build over the next 3 seasons, I think, until the end, if our prediction's right. And that's like going to be the capstone, and whatever happens with like the rat and the rat and the cat is going to change that, or be changed, or one of them's going to die and like one of them's going to take the other's place or some shit with that. But what's probable is that that's kind of where it's headed, this new banquet, and this sort of a much smaller scale thing that is in keeping with the whole wish back in the day when like the god wished for everybody to like get together and whatever, that like everlasting thing. So what could Shigure be lying about here? Like, if it does, so in that case, there's like 2 sides that Shigure could be on. Does Shigure want to create the new banquet and is lying to Akito as if to say like, I'm on your side, I care about you at most, but is really trying best to like basically take all of it away and leave Akito in the dust? Or is he is Shigure lying to all of them and actually cares about Akito the most and is trying to heal Akito, like you said, I guess. Now I see what you were saying after I explained it. Trying to fit.
This is like with Porky Pig and when they're like in space, and he's like, maybe we should do this, and then Daffy Duck's like, no, don't be ridiculous.
That's not what this is like. That's not what this is like. You made no sense. You gave no effort to explain, and then I explained it from the ground up, and now you're taking credit for it. It's kind of like the opposite of what you're saying. Anyway, so then he would be lying to Tooru and all of them, and he's actually creating this situation either to like topple it down or to eventually merge both of them, but I don't see what he could do that would like be a betrayal or anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't see the betrayal in that, of like fostering this and then like moving Akito into that, or I don't know, or maybe like maybe he is just lying to Akito. Well, maybe this is what's happening. Maybe he is fostering this new banquet, this new sort of order, and Akito, being that his sickness might be related to sort of the falling of this kingdom, essentially, this old way of living, this old way of being, and his sickness is sort of emblematic or linked to that in some way. Maybe the more it breaks down and the more of them go over to the other side, the more sick he'll be, because he's supposed to like uphold all of this shit. So then he's saying like, I care about you most of all, Akito. Meanwhile, he is sort of twisting the knife and like, killing him even more, or making him even more sick and ill by taking everything away from him, and while saying, I'm your best friend. And then maybe, everybody kind of is sick of Akito in a lot of ways, but he is still their family, and I'm sure that they don't hate him, but it's a very complicated relationship. So if he ends up if him fostering all of this ends up being Akito's undoing, then they would probably be pissed at him as well, because he sort of like, you know, he sort of took all of the because like, maybe they don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize that they might be contributing more and more to Akito's sickness and like the corruption of everything that came before them, in a way, even though they're actually saving it. But they don't know the downsides of all that, because he is sort of like smoothing things over with Akito and making things go a little bit smoother. And then when things come to a head and maybe Akito dies or gets way more sick, or, you know, if some tragedy happens on this side of things in the one that they're leaving, then they'll feel responsible. But if he keeps it a secret from them and doesn't really keep them in on that part of it, then he'll be responsible and they'll blame him. And that's what they mean about losing a few teeth, is they'll be pissed off at him and not literally punch him in the face, but, you know, hurt him irreparably. And also, because he's a dog, losing a few teeth is like a huge problem. It's like debilitating if they like lose their canines. So I think that's what he was talking about. It's like you'll lose something irreplaceable if you continue to do this. I think that's like the best sort of breakdown of this that I can imagine.
I guess then if he's not trying to help Akito, and if he's just saying, "Oh, I care about you," but doesn't care about him, then like what? Who's this person? Like who does he care about that he keeps going on and on about?
He cares. Oh, like in his backstory, I don't know. In like when he's looking out the window, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he was talking
about this person from his past.
Yeah.
He thought about someone that he loved.
Mm-hmm. I've dreamed about the one I love. From that moment, it was all over for me. And he talks about that. And he's like, "Remember what I told you back then?"
And what he said was, "I want to create something eternal and beautiful and pure." Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a translation thing, and like, it's not the one he loved, but it's like he dreamed about his love, or whatever. The morning you, Aya, and I all cried.
And he said, he said that we dreamed, not just he dreamed. They all dreamed.
Is Aya, who was that? Was that his ex?
I'm not sure. I didn't think that was her name.
No, because they would have been young. They wouldn't have met by this time.
Yeah.
He met
Maybe it's another one of the Zodiac.
Probably the one with the long white hair. In the braid. Mm-hmm. Maybe they just had a premonition.
Yeah, like they had some kind of like
the
vision
three of them had a
something.
premonition of like, you know, of like just this pure feeling. Like maybe it wasn't even like maybe it wasn't a person. Like I said, like maybe maybe that's a translation thing. It's not a person. It's just like they just dreamt of this love, or maybe they dreamt of Tooru or something. Who is like this person that'll bring them all together. And that's who he dreamt of. Or something. But I think that more what he's talking about creating is like the feeling, not necessarily... Maybe he has a long-lost love or something. Who is he talking to about that?
He's talking to the doctor guy.
He said something to... Maybe we'll get into that in a second. I guess we should rewatch that whole conversation, I guess. Now, what happened with him? Is that a car? In his eye?
I can't tell.
It looks like the front of a car. See, there's like the middle with like the badge, and then the headlights, and then the windshield. And the license plate. These are buildings.
Yeah.
I thought they were inside somewhere. And that's like a bag.
Is that Toru's mom getting hit by a car?
That's what I thought.
Well, that could make sense if she was like the previous.
Yeah, because she didn't she get hit by a car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it got like
he
passed
like is
to him or
having
something.
like flashbacks of her mom getting hit by a car.
Or maybe he was there, and she saved him. Because he was there looking at the car, and then she got hit.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, okay, yeah.
But then why would that make him like hate Yuki? Like, what does that have to do with hating Yuki? Is it like just the curse of the fucking cat?
But then they said that they hate each other since they were kids.
But
so then
why?
it comes back into the whole thing of if her mom was the cat, or if there's something like that, then why would they have still had that rivalry? You know what I mean?
Well, he was a kid there.
Yeah, but if that's Toru's mom, Toru's mom, it was like 6 months ago.
That was like recent.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe somebody else got hit by a car.
I know, but it looks like her mom. But we also thought that about the lady in the picture.
Well, hang on. Let's go back and look at what she was wearing when she left. What episode was that? 3? She was talking about, like, her mom on her last day or something.
Okay, yeah, maybe it was the next.
I don't think
Maybe
it was
not
this
this one.
episode.
Maybe it was episode...
It might have been episode 2.
I thought it was maybe episode... I don't know, I just remember it was when she was talking about with her friends. Oh, there she was, at the beginning.
She doesn't have a bag there. This is when she's getting back one random day. Told you it was episode 1. It looks like she's wearing a bag, but I can't tell. Maybe not?
I can't tell if she, like, has one, like, that.
On her back?
Just, like, over her shoulder. It kind of looks like that,
looks
but
like
it
she
could
has
just
one
be her
over here.
arm.
It looks like she does. But no, because you see the strap over here. So it would just be
it's
her
not.
back.
It's not a backpack. It's like it would
A
be
shoulder.
Like a
I know.
purse.
Well, oh yeah, I guess.
Like you just hold it like over one.
I thought that it
arm.
would be like this.
Oh.
It looks like she does have one.
You notice they have a cat door on their door, but they don't have a cat.
That's not a cat door.
Isn't
That's a
it?
mailbox.
Oh, it looks like it. I thought it looked like a really like tall cat door. I was like, oh, okay.
Almost. Anyway, so that was worth it.
That same like evil look.
I think we're pretty well on target with pretty much everything we said. Even the parts where you didn't say anything. Even the parts where I had no idea what the fuck you were talking about. So I think, yeah, I do think that she probably pushed him out of the way to save him. I wonder if his memories got fucked with because it was too traumatic. And that's why he's like dreaming about it.
Yeah.
The way that like Tooru has memories that she can't recall and stuff. Or if they would, because I imagine if you had the power to remove memories, if one of your family members went through this, it would probably be standard procedure to remove that memory.
Unless I left it because he's not really in the family.
Because he's not?
Yeah, like
he's on the outside.
Yeah.
You're afraid to get to know. I still don't understand what this has to do with Yuki, though. Like, I don't understand what any of this has to do with Yuki.
I know. I mean, I can understand just like a rivalry. Like, oh, I'm gonna beat him up and he screwed me over and everyone thinks I'm shitty and I'm not in the family because of the zodiac that he's kind of possessed by. But I don't know what that has to do with the little flashback that he just saw, you know?
Pushed him too far.
Yuki was driving the car.
Maybe. Maybe that's why.
That'd be a crazy plot twist. Yuki just kills Toru's mom. And then just acts like it never happened.
Or wait.
What?
Holy shit, hang on.
What?
Not Yuki, but Akito.
Just fucking ran her down.
Remember the end of this episode?
Yeah, but he wasn't driving the car. He was just
But
in
he
the
pulled
back.
up in the car. It doesn't matter. Same difference. Also, who is that? Is that Shigure? Oh no, that was Hatori. Yeah. He's like, driver, pull over to the left a little bit more. Let's finish this fucking bloodline. Let's finish this accursed bloodline. Do we see it pull along the side? I mean, it could be. It's just a car, but it could be. It is. Hang on, we gotta wait. Enhance. I think it actually could be. Oh, maybe not.
No, that's definitely not this. This looks like.
It looks
if
like
that's
an older
a car, it looks
car.
like an older,
It's
light
definitely
colored.
a car. Yeah, I don't think that's the same. Oh shit, wrong window. I don't think it's the
No.
same car. No. The windshield's a little bit taller. This one's way more round, obviously.
It's a different color.
Maybe they had to get rid of it once they.
Yeah, after the
after the
after
murder.
the hit and run, they upgraded their car.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. Like, you know, maybe. It's just
Imagine
different
how
cars.
absolutely insane that would be.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, that's definitely what's happening here. Like, I think it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear to me that that's Toru's mom. Because, like, it's not a coincidence that, like,
If you're really
her
gonna be
mom
watching
got
this,
hit
you're
by a
like,
fucking car, and then we see this person with the same hair getting hit by a fucking car.
yeah. After we've long speculated about a possible connection between Kyou and Toru's mom, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
case
interesting.
closed.
We don't even need to watch the rest of the show, guys.
All right, thanks for watching Fruits Basket. Next week we'll be starting fucking. I guess that's it.
I think that's it for this episode.
Leave a like and subscribe.
We'll...